Guys, there is something I want to quickly talk about. I have realized many people are still not understanding the process of traveling abroad, or maybe all this issue of JACPA. But I would like to clarify. I will drop some things here so that you can understand better. Okay, so relax, don't worry. Just make sure you watch to the end. Now, this is already July, and I want to say that most applications, like most schools, are not open now again for September. So if right now, as I'm talking to you, the time you are watching this video, if you haven't gotten an admissions to apply for a visa to move abroad and start their lectures maybe September or October or November this year, please just forget about this year. Now your focus should be January, February next year, that is 2025. Now you need to start preparing now, because many people do not understand this. And I also want to draw your attention to the fact that moving abroad now is becoming so expensive, especially if you are not moving on scholarship. If you are moving through a scholarship, that is excellent. You should be looking at the United States. Okay, try to apply to state universities, but there is a lot of work involved, which I'm going to start explaining the details on how you can find scholarships and everything from maybe November, so that you can prepare against next year, because like I told you, it's a whole lot of work. Now, if you want to apply for scholarships that are opening this year, you should be looking at Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Scholarship. That is a fully funded opportunity. Everything will be taken care of: your tuition, accommodation, flights, and everything, okay? And a monthly stipend. Now, coming back to the study abroad stuff, if you want to move abroad as a self-funded student, okay, you should be targeting Italy and Portugal. If your money is 4 million CFA francs, I think that should be around 6,000 euros or something. Target these countries. The reason is because tuition deposit is not much in Italy, and the proof of funds is less than 6,500 euros. I hope you understand. Then for Portugal, tuition deposit is not that much, and you can be allowed to pay in installments. Now, another thing you should also understand is that when you are looking at schools, or when you are choosing a destination to study abroad, you should also put into consideration the tuition deposit you are going to pay, because most schools will ask you to pay a tuition deposit. It's very important for you to note this. And again, you should also understand that the bank statement you are going to be supplying to for visa application probably might come from you or your sponsor. If it's going to come from you, then you should make arrangement immediately and start building your bank statement. I also noticed some people do not even own bank accounts. So in this case, how is it going to be possible for you? You need to prepare now. Now, another thing you should note is that schools are asking for application fees. So get ready to apply to many schools. You need to also put finance in front, so that you can apply for schools, like put in a lot of many applications, so as to get a chance to be selected for many. Then you make the choice. Also understand that some of these schools to apply for, or some countries, would demand you a lot, like Portugal, Austria. Okay, I want to talk about Portugal and Austria, and also Poland. To those who are not located in Central Africa, those who are from all those other countries like South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, of course, it's easy for you guys over there to apply for Polish visas. But remember, you have to do legalization and authentication of your documents at the level of the ministries and the Polish embassies as well. Now, those who are going to be moving to Poland, to Portugal and Austria, do not forget that for you to move to Austria, you need to first of all start now by choosing an appointment to legalize your documents. You need to first of all do authentication, then you do verification and legalization at the level of the embassy. All this entails appointments. You need to get appointments to go to those places, and money is involved as well. There are a lot of videos on here I've done about this, and when it comes to the legalization, the authentication, the verification, and the legalization, some people still don't understand. Now, authentication is when you take your documents to the various ministries, like for Nigerians. Then when you go for verification and legalization, it is different, and this process entails money. I said for those in Nigeria, you have to pay 400 euros, And those who are moving with family, you will pay 500 euros. For those from Cameroon and Ghana, you are paying 700 euros. And those who are going with families, you will pay 800 euros. Now, remember, this is for verification and legalization. After verification, you will still need to pay for legalization, because this money I just named now, or I mentioned here, is only for verification, because it involves a lot of work. They have to send their lawyers to do all those things to check if the certificates you presented are actually legit. And after that, the embassy will now contact you. Well, they will inform you when you go for verification and depositing of the documents. If you want to do the how do they put it, if you want them to legalize it, you will then pay 80 euros. That is the amount for now. And remember, proof of funds to migrate to Austria is around 13,500 euros for an adult. And again, if you are moving with family, all right, it's different. But if you are going alone and you are under 23, I think under 24 years, you are going to pay around 7,500. So the procedure, you see, it involves finance and it entails a lot of time. So try and start planning now. Do your authentication now, then start searching for appointments to legalize your documents and prepare for next year. Same things for Portugal, but the process for Portugal, their own embassy, Portuguese embassy, is not that heavy. So put things into consideration and plan. You already know it is affordable. Thank you so much. Today, let's talk about this thing. I did a post few days back on this page, and somebody came there and said the procedure is less than 100k. About 2 people or 3 people, I knew they didn't understand. That is why I'm here again. Now, the post, I said you are going to spend 400 euros or more for a particular procedure. For those who are going to be studying in Austria or intend to move to Austria, you need to do 3 things to your academic credentials. You need to authenticate them, you need to verify them, you need to legalize them. Now, I'm going to break this down to you so you actually understand. The first one, I'll be using Nigerians and Cameroonians as example. Remember, Austrian universities are very cheap. Like with 726 euros, you can study for 1 semester. So 2 semesters is going to cost you less than 1,500 euros. So please consider Austrian universities, and also know that proof of funds, like to study in Austria, is not a blocked account, but you need a lot of money, like more money, because as an adult, you need about 13,500 euros to study in this country, right? Because the government do not want people to come and depend on their government. So you need to be able to show that you have more money to study. Now, for you to apply to schools, you can equally apply to the schools, whether public or private schools, depending on the requirements. But most private schools will not even ask for these, but they are expensive. Now, for you to apply to these public schools, you need to do this procedure. The first one is, as a Nigerian, you need to take your documents to the Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs. I don't know how much you are going to pay there, but this is the procedure the person was referring to, which is not legalization and verification. After this process, it is called authentication at the Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs. Now, the next process you need to undergo is verification and legalization. This is where you need to book an appointment with the Austrian Embassy or VFS Global if you're in Cameroon. Now, when you book the appointment, note that you have to pay for these documents. If you are going alone to Austria, you want to apply a loan, you are going to pay 400 euros and must be paid in cash, in euros, on the day of your submission. Okay, it cannot be paid in any foreign currency or other currency. Now, this is for you alone. If you want to move with family, which you might have to add the birth certificate of your kids, okay, and that of your wife, then you would have to do this procedure for 500 euros. This is verification. They will verify everything. If it's okay, they will now do legalization, but they will ask you if you want legalization after that. Then remember, 1 document to legalize is 80 euros. So you need to put all this into consideration. Now, for those my people from Cameroon and Ghana, your own fee, instead of 400 and 500, if you are moving alone and family, you will now pay 700 and 800 euros, right? Then for the verification, this is for Ghanaians and Cameroonians. Then after that, legalization will be done 80 euros. Please put all this into consideration. Complete videos will be on my YouTube channel, so you can watch them from there and understand. It is always good to know what you want to do before you proceed. I hope this helps you. Please, any further question, drop it on the comment section. Thank you so much.